Hey everyone!
Merry Christmas!
I just finished scanning in 2,500 photos from Granddad and Mums from many, many years ago. And I want you to join me on this journey, which I've kind of filmed over the past 4 days. And over the next 10 or 15 minutes, however long this video ends up being, and I hope you enjoy. Merry Christmas. We love you.
Christmas.
Hi everyone. So what we are looking at is a delivery I just got from Laura. It is all the slides that we're aware of that Granddad has taken since I think around 1960 or so. And that is filled with slides and a few photos. We have some slides here and a photo album right here. So I want to talk a little bit about the equipment we have and how we're going to digitize Granddaddy's analog photos and slides. All right, starting off on the right-hand side, we have a little GoPro camera back here, which will be doing some time-lapse photography, just kind of show off a little bit of the work that I'm having to not necessarily suffer through, but I want to make you aware of it. On the right-hand side, we have the photo scanning workflow, and on the left, we have the slide scanning workflow. So I'll start with the photo scanning workflow. So I have a little photo album here on the right. And then behind the little e-reader, we have an Epson V600, which will scan in photos. And you can see I just scanned a photo of my mom. Actually, two photos. They were taped together. I didn't want to risk hurting the picture, so I scanned them both and I'll separate them in post. And very, very basic photo scanning. This scanner will support slides, and there's a little adapter here for the slides, and it does support negatives, but my camera will do a much better job at scanning the slides. So on the slide scanning section, we have a bunch of slides here, and we have a light board which shines into the camera. There's an adapter on the camera that allows you to take a picture of the slide. There's a macro lens, and then my Nikon D5600 there. So the workflow, I'm going to set the camera down here and I'll show you what I am doing for this workflow. So we grab a little slide. As you can see, there's writing on the front. Granddad was smart and wrote on the front of all the slides. So what I'm doing to capture the metadata Granddad wrote on there is I'll be taking a picture with my old phone here of the slide and then immediately be transferring the slide over to my Nikon camera, turn it on, go into live mode, and so I have a shutter mode priority. So I want a very slow shutter mode so we can capture as much light as we can and get the most detail out of the picture. So right now it's on 1/30th of a second at ISO 100. We want the ISO as low as it can go. So I will take a little picture.
morning. It is day 2, December 12th, just after 7 a.m. And to recap yesterday, we scanned in just about 200 slides and I edited them all, just kind of briefly edited them. What we're looking at right now is an Elfin Colors slide that I believe Granddad must have bought at a gift shop or something at one of the museums. It looks like in Edinburgh. The problem is Elfin Color. Obviously, the dyes did not hold up very well. Luckily for us, Granddad used Kodachrome or some other format that helped the dyes held up over time. But I want to show you that even though these old slides that look like they're pretty much ruined or awful can be retouched. So what I'm going to do is just basically using the tone curve, just slide the red over towards the greens a little bit. And I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, looking at a side by side here, it's much better. Granddad did, it looks like, have quite a few of these pre-bought cheap slides from gift shops. I'm probably not going to scan them because a lot of them are just kind of generic, nothing really. But from here, I'll just show you a little bit about the editing process. So I'm going to crop down the side that's black here, and then there's a spot removal tool that my duster might not have picked up, knocked off all the dust, and this thing does a great job of finding a similar area and removing any spots. So let's maybe bring the exposure. Well, exposure brings that red tint back. Maybe we could slide this a little bit further. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, that looks okay. It's a little greenish, but I don't want to spend too much time on a slide Granddad didn't take. Here's one Granddad did take, and this is in Kodachrome, and the exposure is awful. Up here it's way overexposed, and the buildings are underexposed. So to quickly do this, we could just kind of crank up the exposure here and kind of bring down the highlights maybe, and bring up the shadows. And one interesting thing is I found is a lot of Granddad's photos look like they were on a tilt shift lens. And a tilt shift lens means you can tilt the lens down with the camera facing forward, and you can shift it left or right or up or down depending on where the shift is. And those lenses are today like thousands of dollars. They're very expensive lenses, and they're typically used in architecture. And one of the effects it gives is it gives this like, it looks like this car is smaller than everything around it. And I think this is an artifact of Granddad must have had not a great lens, and this is just one of the artifacts from it. But I mean, this is another kind of out of focus old picture, so I'm probably not going to touch it up too much. Just bring up the exposure, maybe add a graduated filter up here and in this overexposed spot, and kind of bring down the exposure here so it's not so bright. But it looks like all that detail is lost with it being overexposed. But anyways, that's just a quick glimpse of what I'm doing to the slides after taking a picture of them. Now back to scanning some slides.
Hello. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break and do a little bit of exercising, but we are just about 1,000 slides in on day 2 here, and it's 11 a.m. and I've been editing photos, scanning slides all morning, and now I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes or so on this little rowing machine, and then we'll hop back to it.
Good morning. It is day 4 of this little journey of scanning photos and slides. I am just about complete. It is just about 8 a.m. and I still have quite a few photos to scan, and the last bit of slides that I have are all of plants. So I'm going to scan the plants. I don't know if anybody's ever going to care or look at them. I probably won't touch them up if they need it. But what I want to show you this morning is just give a little status update of where we are. Right now we have 1,422 pictures, and I have them sorted in 2 different buckets here. One is family photos, and then the other is trips. The trips range from 1973 in Europe to 1986 in Mexico, and these all came from slides. And then, more importantly, I think what people care about are the family photos over the years, and they range back from the early 50s, and I think there was some 40s slides in here actually. Just finished the last photo. That means I'm going to read a book, relax, and then edit some photos and edit this video and send it out to you. Well, I believe it's the last update, and I will be sending this video to you. It's been quite the trip, going through Granddad and Mum's photos the past couple of days, and this whole process has took quite a bit of time and a lot of planning to get it right. So it's been really interesting going through Granddad's photos, and since I haven't been able to travel and really much in 2020 to kind of relive his moments and travel, and I've set up a website here, JURKS.pictures. You can go to that in your browser, JURKS.pictures, and we have, I don't know, eight or nine photo albums. We have 6 just general travel photo albums, and these were sorted by what Granddad did in his slide deck. Um, he had an entire unabridged dictionary of photos of plants, and I've put them in their own photo album. Um, I also created a photo album of classic jerks, kind of like Coke Classic, I guess. But the idea was any black and white photos from the late 1800s to the early 1900s kind of fill in this category. And then what I think a lot of people will really care about is just the general Jerks photo album from the 1950s until present day. And there's about 800 photos in here. And if you go to jerks.pictures, you can click on any one of these links, and it'll bring you to a photo album. I haven't fully edited all the photos, so I mean, as you can tell, I mean this one there's a little scratch on Great Granddad's eye. But I have edited quite a bit of them, and I've spent a bunch of time on it. So this will be a work in progress, and I do believe that just by looking at what photos I was able to scan in, that this isn't everything, and it would be a fun project to get with everybody. And if you have photos, to either let's get together and add them to this, or figure out a way we can add and expand this, because I am hesitant to think that there are not a lot more photos out there that Granddad and Mums took over the years. Anyways, this has been such a fun project. I'm exhausted. I've spent all my waking hours for the past 4 days working to complete this, and I hope to upload this video really soon and send it to you all. And I love you so much, and hopefully we can spend some time together really soon once the vaccine comes out. Love you all. Bye.